Hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Discussing the Universe with Drake.
And Ty.
And we have a special guest here for
Special
this
guest?
episode. Our first ever,
What?
introducing Luke.
Hey, it's Luke. I'm on the podcast now.
He is, and we
Although
haven't
probably
told
not
him what we're going to be talking about today. So, for the first time ever, he's hearing the very epic special topic. Today's episode is Relationship Advice 101 with Drake.
No.
The episode
No.
Wow.
What?
Hang on.
What?
That's not
What?
the topic we wrote down. The
I
topic
think that, no, that's
I'm
no,
very
definitely
glad.
the topic we wrote down is how to
Yeah.
have a significant other with Drake Marisek.
It's the same thing, Ty.
No, it's
It's
relationship
the same thing.
advice.
That's a threatening
thing.
topic.
It's a threatening
I
topic.
reworded it. I am the most experienced here, okay? We can
Obviously.
all agree. We can all agree.
Future me, when you listen to
He's a
this while you're
dateable guy.
editing, just put up I don't know, information.
All right. So, we are all manly men here. We understand the needs to be in a relationship with someone, right? To have that significant other. But some people are like, what should I do? How am I supposed to do that? Well, I'm here to rescue you guys. Okay?
He's here because he knows everything.
I know everything. So basically, step 1, this is an important step. Get a girlfriend.
That is step 1.
That's probably
Anyway,
the most important one.
yeah, but
Yeah.
this is how to have, not how to get. So we can just skip right
Yeah,
over that
yeah.
one.
So we're skipping.
How to
We're skipping.
maintain.
It doesn't
We're skipping step
Oh.
1.
matter.
We're stepping
No,
up
it
to
doesn't-
step
you-
2.
You just have to like how to maintain a relationship. Yes, of course.
How to have,
So,
not how to get. Anyway,
Ty, you think you know so much about relationships?
I do kind of.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
You do?
I do. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you do. Fine. You give your advice.
I'm the
then,
monkey in the middle with two angry men.
We're tossing them back and forth like a beach ball. Yeah, I would know a lot about it. Actually, my girlfriend and I are very happy.
Yeah. I bet you are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I just
Yeah,
said.
you are. Yeah, that's right.
Um,
What about you, Drake? What's your
Yeah.
experience?
Now.
That's classified
Some people-
information.
some-
That's
some
what he said
people
to me.
No. Some people would call it theoretical information. Like
quantum
theoretical
mechanics.
experience.
Schrodinger's Drake's girlfriend.
Schrodinger's. Now, Luke. What do you have in terms
I
of
have an
experience?
axe.
Wow. That's pretty epic. I too have lots of axes.
Oh,
I use them to chop up wood and such.
Mine's
for
on my
the
shed.
lumberyard. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do not own a wood cutting weapon.
You do not own a wood cutting weapon? What
I
are
do
you?
not.
What are you crazy? What?
Maybe I am.
What? See, this is why you don't stay in relationships. You don't have the proper wood cutting weapons.
I'm sorry if I had to sacrifice my bro axe for the female.
Your bro. Everyone knows that if you get rid of your bro axe, that's like signing away your brodom.
that's the bonding agent.
It's the bonding agent of
Our
the group.
relation-
The glue
with each
between
other.
beings is an axe and other.
Yeah, usually people
Carpentry
bury
equipment.
the hatchet. That's
you know,
actually just
you know
them
who
putting
is a
down the glue.
carpenter? You
Mr.
know who's
Benny.
a carpenter? Jesus, okay? And
Oh.
everyone knows he's
Oh,
the
man.
foundation of all human beings, alright? And that's how you know that carpenters are cool people.
This episode is turning into like Reddit. I swear to
This
God.
episode is sponsored by Catholicism.
That is a lie. We are not sponsored by the entire religion.
I'm sorry. I heard a word over 3 syllables and my brain got confused. I apologize.
But,
Anyway,
I'm not dating. That would be cool if I was. Wink, wink,
Would-
wink, Drake.
it would be pretty.
ooh.
Wait, no.
Ooh.
Hey, can we cut this out? Can we cut
No,
this?
we are
this
not.
is being recorded. Oh, okay.
Hopefully, you understand that I'm
It's pretty-
joking here, sir.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're joking. It's a prank. I've gone on. I've been pranked all the time. Like that one time I was robbed. It was a pretty
You
cool
were
prank.
robbed
They
once?
stole my money. It was really cool. They stole my money and then they never gave it back.
No
and they were
money
like,
equals
hashtag
big funny.
pranked.
Like, were you held at weapon point?
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
It was really funny.
Gotta
It was really
specify-
good
Doesn't
prank.
seem very funny.
The weapon was an axe, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
obviously.
that
Yeah, no,
that's funny. That's a
what-
tie-in.
I knew that was fine. Yeah,
That's
it
a-
was.
That's a
yeah.
callback to an old joke.
Yeah, an old joke we made 2 minutes ago.
Amazing.
Wow, we are good at this.
Masters of
See?
comedy.
I'm
But,
I'm glad that we have Luke here now. It adds a third dynamic to the dynamic.
Now
Such
it's
as
three-dimensional.
watch Luke say a funny thing now.
I don't think this is going to be really funny. I was
that
going to ask.
That was good.
Amazing,
that was
Luke.
real.
I was going to ask if you guys have taken the 16 personalities test.
Is that the one
I
with a
haven't.
bunch of letters or whatever? It's like according
Yes.
to your personality type. I have taken that before. I have a screenshot on my phone of my
Most
personality
popular
type.
one.
Can't remember which one it is.
I just recently retook it. I got the same thing, but I did recently take it, and I got campaigner, and let me
Really?
pull up the page. It's pretty accurate, although I did read that there's a study where it's like everyone agrees with their personality tests because it's a lot of vague things
Yeah.
that they say about you.
Right,
But the
Like
thing with the 16 personalities
horoscopes or
test,
zodiac signs.
yeah,
It's like today you will feel emotion. Woo! And they're like, oh,
It's
that's
so right.
yeah.
Yeah.
the thing with the 16 personalities test is that it gives you like 7 pages of accurate information.
Uh-oh.
And besides the 16 personalities, there are 2 types of each personality. And I think it's government funded, although it's on a .com, not a .gov site.
Here's your government mandated emotion. Thank you.
But it was pretty accurate, and there's a whole page on it about relationships and how those
Oh.
go.
Right.
Yeah, romantic relationships.
Do tell us more.
So what, are there like certain combos that work well together?
Oh yeah,
something?
I wonder if it does say that. Does it say that? I don't think it specifies any other kinds, but part of the campaigner is social engagement, outgoing, extroverted, and it says with romantic relationships, it's when it comes to relationships, campaigners like to share a lot and be involved. So I think for a bit of advice when it comes to being extroverted, I think pace yourself a little bit, because if you're extroverted in a relationship, you might want to go really fast because that's how you naturally feel.
Yeah.
But that,
Yeah.
as I know from experience, no es bueno.
Right.
Sorry, I don't
pace yourself.
speak
There's
Spain.
another
Could
person
you
involved.
please, Ty, translate, please.
Well, I don't speak it either, but that was relatively easy to comprehend.
No, I
Do-
need you to translate, Ty.
You live in California.
It's like, that's no
I
good.
need.
That's
It
what he
doesn't matter. I
said.
need you to translate.
We live in Los Angeles.
Yeah, dude.
That's what he said. We live
The
in Los
Angels.
Angeles. Thank
No,
you. Thank
no,
you. Now
oh
I
my
understand. I get it now.
I can't do anything around here.
Yeah.
do. You're not permitted to, Ty.
I'm not
you know?
allowed to be smart. This is.
But
this is,
would you guys consider yourselves extroverted?
Now, it's odd. You see,
yeah.
I
Drake
would
and I are
always
like the same person.
Okay, so there have been some conspiracies going around that we are in fact just one person doing 2 separate voices. Not true.
Not
I
true.
can confirm. If I was same person, my voice is much superior. And also
What?
our voices are opposite, so I don't see how that connects. But introverted or extroverted? It's odd because I'd call myself kind of introverted, but at the same time I like require social interaction. So I believe it's more like extroverted with social anxiety.
What a
And not a fun
crock-pot
combo,
of
by the way.
terrible-
Not fun.
Yeah.
I think that's
Not really fun.
kind of common in a lot of fellas our age.
Yeah, I'd call
Yeah, because-
myself. I'd call myself extroverted, I think. But, like-
you're extroverted, Ty.
Yeah. Okay, at least it's confirmed. But like, the reason why is because like I love hanging around people. But reason I was kind of doubting it is because it's like if I'm just like tired, I'm gonna be like, no, humans, stay away. I want to go sleep in my room and have no.
Oh, that's called being
contact.
lazy. It's called being lazy.
Is that lazy though? Like, what if you're just tired of like social, your social
You're a
battery
tired,
is out.
extroverted person.
Your social battery is out, right? And you just want to go sleep.
Mm.
Like you can't deal with people.
Well, yeah, I guess the difference between you and like an introverted person is that you said like your social battery is like dead, while introverts their social battery is just like taken out of them forcefully.
So for me, it's like
It
my
has been-
social battery is constantly dead, but I am
Someone
able to push more out
took
of
a
it.
pair of pliers and just tore it out of their system and went like, okay, be free.
I'd say my social battery is pretty consistently running.
I'd say my social battery is they put the wrong end, like the positive
They
to
put the positive and the negative backwards.
side, yeah.
the person who was building you died from a shock from the
He
battery,
died in
and
the middle.
you're currently
Short
unfinished.
circuited. That's why he needs to find his other half, and
Yeah.
that's why he's going to tell us all about how to have a significant other.
Yeah.
I have been doing that this whole time.
I
Don't you
looped
see?
it
I've
back
been-
around.
Find a
Yeah,
positive
yeah.
to your negative, and find a negative to your positive.
That's right. Complementary
analogies.
people. Robot analogies. Because soon the robot overlords are going to take over. So we're going to need to change all the lingo to
Yeah.
make it match. So basically, you're in a relationship with someone, and you're like, wow, we are really complementary. Then what you gotta do is you gotta be even more complimentary. You have to change your personality
That's
to
not-
match
oh
the
my
other
God.
person.
Yeah, that's a healthy thing.
No.
Healthy thing to do.
No,
Base
Definitely
please.
yourself
don't
off
do
of
that.
other people. I'm
No.
Definitely don't do
definitely
that.
not going to therapy
Mhm.
about that exact problem. That's
Yep,
what am I
yep.
talking about? Problem? No, that is a convenience.
Real men don't have problems. Real men have no issues whatsoever. Now that we've gotten that clear, I think everything is really simple in relationship. You get in a fight, just say, "Hey, let's not get in a fight," and she'll be like, "You know what? You're right. I understand now." And
Or
if
how
she
about-
doesn't, then
how about this? How about like talking about your differences and then accepting them as parts of each other?
oh my god, you're just saying a bunch of words now. They don't even like correlate together. There's the puzzle pieces. It's a two-piece
You're
puzzle
being too
piece.
brain centered.
And you flipped over the second puzzle piece, and now one side is the cardboard side, and the other side is the picture of a forest.
Both sides are cardboard.
Well, the one is like brown. Have you seen a jigsaw puzzle before?
Actually, I have. I've watched the Saw movies.
That's not. There's the. No, I don't believe. Ty, I don't believe that's what a jigsaw is.
Wait, so I've been doing jigsaws wrong the entire time?
Wait, Ty,
Have you
wait,
been
no.
killing people?
Ty, have you been torturing people for their injustices against society?
I would never.
Okay, so that one time where we were walking in the park and you said, "Hold on, I'll be right back," and you came back, I was like, "Hey, what'd you do?" And he was like, "I was definitely not torturing people for their injustices against society." Were you torturing people for their injustices against society?
No comment.
Okay, Anyways, besides that,
Does that work out in court? Just saying no comment. That's what you're
the
supposed
Fifth
to do,
Amendment is
right?
literally a thing.
If you're
Yeah,
guilty.
you're supposed to literally
You
just
can
say,
just-
"I plead the Fifth."
You can do
Which, by
that.
the way, is like the stupidest thing, because I feel like whenever someone says "I plead the Fifth," it's just basically them saying, "I'm guilty, but nah, man."
I think it's more like, it's so reporters just can't get your opinions on things because it's like, what's your opinion on blank, and then they'll use that opinion against you. So that's why you're allowed
Oh,
to
I
say,
get it.
I plead the
Yeah, supposedly you're not supposed to say like anything at all.
pretty much. Like if we
In-
get famous,
in-
we got to
unless, like,
change
like a-
everything.
In the basically, you do what your lawyer tells you to do,
Pretty much.
except if that lawyer is corrupt, and if it's a corrupt lawyer, then sucks to be you.
Now,
Well,
could we translate this to relationships?
Can
we
we?
probably
Well,
can
you see,
somehow in some
which one? Which
convoluted
one? Which
method.
one here is if you feel like your lawyer, your significant other is not right for you, then you should probably speak up.
Buy
Speak
a
up
new
about it.
one.
Purchase with your money. Go go to a court of law and say, Your Honor, my significant other, I'm not a fan, bro. Can we do a little swap? And they'll probably be like, yeah, sure.
Oh my god.
If there's anyone else out there on the internet that is listening to this, we're sorry that this is the advice.
This is the content you came here for this week. We
you
swear next
hear
week might be better.
the intro, and you're
You're-
excited
you're
to hear all
expecting-
this wonderful
The
advice.
deep like thoughts of intellectuals. I'm
This
sorry,
isn't
but
that episode.
Okay, how about we actually start helping people and like just stop like messing
Wait.
around and like actually
wait,
talk about the topic.
Actually
Actually
help people
talking about it.
Actually help
We're gonna
people
put it.
back?
We're gonna put a
I'm gonna beat
timestamp.
around the bush
I don't-
for the rest of my life. If
Ty,
you don't
I
mind.
don't have beat around the bush.
My God.
Now you see, Ty, I haven't written down anything for like actual advice. I've only written down things for funny. What am I supposed to do? Ty?
How about we rationalize
Yeah?
and think of scenarios in which bad things might happen in a relationship,
What?
and then we think about it, and then we can talk about those scenarios. Because I haven't really thought of anything either.
Okay.
All right.
Things in
Number-
relationships.
number one,
those never
Wacky.
happen.
I'm gonna put a timestamp in the description of when we get real, so that we can apologize and then we can skip ahead.
Number one scenario that comes to mind that screwed it up for me is long distance.
Long distance.
Right.
Okay.
Try, if it's optional, which it probably isn't. If it's optional, try and avoid those, in my humble opinion.
Understood long distance that much in general, because like if you're not spending that much time together, and if it's like a hassle to even like interact with each other, I mean maybe it's worth it, but I feel like the net gain in the end just isn't worth it.
There's this sense of longing for sure, you know,
Yeah.
because it's like, I'm sure it gets lonely, right? Because your significant other is like asleep or something, and you really want to talk to them.
Yeah. But
You've
you're
had
like,
personal
oh, I
experience
can't
with this,
judge this
Yeah.
scenario that's happening currently because I'm not there with them.
right?
It's just
I'm
like
away.
I feel like
it's just like how like right now we're all
Yeah.
stuff is online right now, so almost all relationships are distance unless you like
broke
live
the law.
relatively close to each other
Oh.
and you obey the laws.
Unless you're the president of the United States, in which case you and your wife can both go to the hospital.
Together. How romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, how romantic. So I've noticed just in general it's harder, I'd say, to just talk to read the room, I guess.
Yeah.
And especially if you're trying to connect on a super deep level with someone,
Mhm.
I just don't see that happening.
Reading the room
Yeah.
is very, very necessary for well executed contact.
Yeah, contact
Yeah.
and conversation. Yeah, I feel like long distance, if someone was to do a long distance relationship, both parties need to be like totally
Yeah.
like because it's for some people
Way
and
in
not for some
favor.
people. Like both parties need to be able to do it without any ill will like at all against like the other
Yeah.
partner, sometimes not like picking up, or you know, sometimes misunderstanding conversations or misunderstanding scenarios. Like, you know, you just need to be very understanding, I guess, if you wanted to be in a long distance relationship.
And like, if that's your thing, and you're like going to ask the other person if you want to be in a long distance relationship, then you probably have mulled over it and thought about it. And I'm not
Yeah.
telling you that you're wrong.
It-
Just
it's-
letting
It's
you
gonna
know
be a
it,
struggle,
it didn't work out.
yeah, there will. There are There are plenty of worms in the can.
Worms in the can. That's not. You're confusing expressions here, Todd.
Yeah.
I believe
You mean
the
fish in the sea?
expression is no. I believe it's like sea urchins in the lagoon.
Sure, why not?
Is there a negative connotation to sea urchins, or do you enjoy sea urchins?
No, I went to Hawaii and I got stung by a sea urchin, and it hurt a lot because they have toxins in their
they do
prickle things.
Yeah.
And it spread throughout my finger, and it was a bit swollen.
You touched a sea urchin with your finger?
Oh, I do it all the time. I've only been stung once. But actually, not. It's really hard to get stung. I don't know what I did. I guess the sea urchins in Hawaii are just really aggressive for some reason.
That sea urchin was particularly petty that day. If you put your finger up to like the sea urchin's little like, the harder parts of their little spines things, they'll like actually like grip onto your finger. What? It's pretty cool. Except if you go a bit too deep, in which they impale you with a barb, and spread.
So they like grab you.
Finger. Yeah, like the little.
What?
They're not.
Step
they're not,
one: gain trust.
They're not like it's not like a rock. It's part of them, so they can move their little like spikes, and they'll like grip onto your finger if like.
That makes
sense.
It's
not hard. It's just like if you've ever touched a sea anemone before,
I
like how it like
kind of
retracts. It's kind of like that, but it's like closing around your finger. Maybe they'll drag you under the water and drown you. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Wow, this feels like it's correlating to relationships.
You're right. Second scenario.
If you aren't careful, you will reap the badness. Yeah. Whoa. Well, that feels cool. Like common sense.
That's how we are very good at transitions, as shown by this. We are skillful.
Yes, we are.
And great. So, Ty, you have been in a relationship before your current one.
Yes, I have.
So,
because he's a hot man.
Thank you very much.
He's a little
right.
Oh. What's the question?
So, what do you think? What do you think went wrong with that time?
Damn.
If you care to share. I mean, that's what we're doing here. Okay?
That is what we're doing here. What happened with that one? Honestly, it was like she just wasn't feeling it. Like
the vibes were off.
Like we just didn't connect. That kind of
zodiac signs didn't connect.
That's not
weren't incompatible.
You know what? Maybe.
My horoscope the day we broke up said break up.
No, but yeah. It was just like, there was no connection there. And that's important for a relationship, that you connect with one another past like this, like past like the beginning phase,
Wait, okay.
Because it feels so good when you start out.
Just because I'm curious. I'm not trying to be a douchebag here, but so if there was no like connection there, like why'd you start in the first place? Like what was the situation?
I honestly think like it's just that sensation of like head in the clouds kind of thing. And it's just like, I can be in a relationship with this person. And then, eventually when the plane starts to land, your head comes out of the clouds and it's like, And
then the plane crashes into the ocean.
Well, then it lands because I didn't die.
Well, I mean, we can't confirm or deny that, so.
Touché. Anyway, yeah. But now I'm in a relationship where I do connect with my significant other, and she's great and amazing.
How long has it been?
It's been literally 6 months, and time has flown so fast.
Isn't that just been like the quarantine?
Yeah, dude.
Ironically, we started dating because of quarantine. We started talking more.
Oh,
so yeah.
Wow.
Which is like utterly convenient. So
I guess something positive can come out of the quarantine.
It can.
Good jokes.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story? Sure, why not?
What was I gonna say?
What were you gonna say? I don't know.
What were you
gonna say? It was relating. Oh yeah, there was something I read I think yesterday where it was marriages where the two people are best friends before 74 more of those relationships compared to ones where they aren't. 74% less end in divorce. which just goes to
Really?
show how important the connection at the start and before the relationship happens matters. 74% is a huge margin.
That is a huge number.
That's a lot.
That's
Well, I mean, of course, it makes the most sense to me. If you've
Yeah.
had all this time to connect with this one person, and then you're together, it's like not much has actually changed.
true.
That's the odd thing I feel about like boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff. Like if you're like a boyfriend or girlfriend with someone you're not that close to, then what's like the point? Like what the only difference between like a girlfriend and a girl best friend is basically like just a slightly less level of intimacy and like a title.
That's
That's
pretty fair, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. I will agree with that.
How do we bounce off of this?
Crap, I don't
I
know.
don't know. Someone make a funny joke. That's usually my job. I'm at a.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road
to get to his
stay in
girlfriend's
his
house?
relationship?
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay.
Scenarios.
Let's talk about toxic relationships. Ones where one of them is using the other one. So like a scenario, like I've never been in one, luckily, thank God.
Yeah.
But like one where someone pulls you in a relationship, like let's say you're Drake Marasek and you're ultra uber popular, okay?
Yeah.
Like Drake Marasek is.
Yeah.
And big boy.
And somebody pulls you into a relationship and uses you for status and like social power.
I think that's it.
That's it.
The obvious answer, of course, is to just get out of that relationship.
Well, that is the obvious answer.
The problem is that most people don't realize they're in a toxic relationship.
Exactly.
Or there's the alternative where you don't want to give up. You don't want to give that person up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's like they're your significant other. They make you happy.
The problem with that is that just the longer you spend time in that relationship, the longer it's going to be to get out of it. Because it's the freaking, what is it? There's a term for it. It's the thing that gamblers get addicted to. Basically, where if you've invested a ton of time in one thing, you feel like you have to get something out of it. And that's what causes like gamblers to just keep going and just keep going.
Is it a phenomenon with a name? Maybe
it has a name. It's like I'll find it later and put it up on screen. But it's a podcast, so if you don't have to look.
Yeah.
I will be looking up. You guys talk about stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
don't get in a toxic relationship and try to identify it. Like, if they're not treating you well, and you can tell they're using you, and then maybe sometimes you just need to like intervene. Like if your friend's in a toxic relationship, it's like, dude, that's not healthy for you, man. You got to get out of there.
I remember going to random WikiHow articles, and one of them was toxic relationships, and it was really bare bones, and I think WikiHow sometimes does that a lot, where they present something and they just give you the answers as if they're really easy. And
but it's not
advice,
easy, though.
Yeah. Advice is more easily accepted with sentiment. So then it was just like, get out of the relationship. And it's like, there's another person behind that toxic wall. And a lot of people don't like wanting to get that disconnect. So hopefully something that's a little easier than letting them go, that you can start off with, is addressing it to them.
Yeah, talking about it, definitely important.
Because then you get to hear their side.
Yeah, especially if like if both of you want to stay in the relationship, then talking about it is extremely important. Like, I guess somebody could Like maybe their personality is a bit toxic, you know,
Yeah,
and
they
somehow
might
got
not
in a
be all
relationship.
that empathetic of a person, or
Yeah.
maybe they're using you for status. But I personally, I'm a big believer on good in everyone. And like when it comes to like bad people, they always think they're doing the right thing. That's a huge factor.
It's a common
It's a
theme.
huge
actually.
factor in
Hitler
literally,
thought
like,
he was doing the
everything.
right thing. I'm not saying Hitler was a good person.
He
Hitler thought he
wasn't.
was a good person.
Well, he was
I don't
following
think-
his ambition, which was
I don't think a lot of
wrong.
people ever think they're doing like the bad thing.
Yeah.
There's only a
Yeah.
very few
There's
people
no
who
reason
know
to
they're
do
doing a bad thing. And generally, if it's a person who knows they're doing the bad thing but want to keep doing it because they just like to, it's like
That's-
sadism, basically. And
That's-
Yeah.
The sign of a psychopath, right?
yes.
Or a sociopath.
One of the
They're-
two.
What is the difference between those two? Like,
we could talk about
I
that on
feel
a
like
different
people-
podcast.
Yeah.
I failed to find whatever I was looking for.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
it's unfortunate.
Okay.
I'll keep looking for it
You'll
later.
find it later.
But so what were we just talking about? We were talking about something, and I was gonna say, oh yes, bad people and stuff, thinking they're right people. The one I was just wanting to mention the weird thing about the Nazis. I know it's an odd sentence to say, but
That is
like
a really weird
they
sentence.
thought
Trey.
they were
Be
like-
careful.
Weird thing
Be
about
careful.
these terrible people.
Just be careful with this. Be
No,
careful
I'm
with
not.
the next
I'm
sentence.
not. I'm not saying anything like good against them. I'm saying
Okay.
Of
bad
course
things against
Good,
them.
okay.
They chose to like put skulls on their uniforms,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, oh wow, we're the good guys.
There's
guys.
definitely a
Trust us."
sign
Have you guys seen that
of the
skit?
pathy.
Have you guys seen that skit where it's the two Nazi soldiers and they kind of look at their uniforms and they're like, "Are we the baddies?"
Oh yeah.
And it was such a,
it's-
and then the other guy goes, "Well, of course not." And then the other guy goes, "But we have skulls on everything." And then like it channels to all these like really funny like objects with skulls on them. And then the tough guy finally reads like,
Yeah.
and then the skit ends. But it's like that's true. Like why did they
That's
put
about,
why do you put skulls on your stuff?
won't that be a bit about ignorance? Maybe
It's really
Ignorance and blind following, maybe. Yeah.
blind following can usually be attributed to wanting to do the right thing.
That's true. Feeling like you're doing the right
Yeah.
thing can definitely make it so you blindly follow some sort of leader that has bad practices.
And a funny mustache.
he is a funny mustache.
That was.
I thought it was pretty funny, Ty. Huh? You're not gonna laugh at the funny joke.
I'm not gonna laugh.
That's
Hitler had a
it's
funny
fun
mustache.
skill, Ty.
Oh
Hitler
my
was
God.
not a funny dude.
He was
He's
not.
He
not
had
a
a
funny
funny
dude.
mustache.
He had a funny mustache. There's a difference, Ty.
That's fine. We can have our differences. If you
can
believe
have
his mustache was cool,
Artistic liberties.
Do you guys accept my differences then?
yes.
You know what's important in accepting differences?
What? What?
Relationships.
Relationships.
Whoa!
Whoa! We're
I don't know
so
how we keep
good
doing
at
this.
Literally, Destiny
Yay.
just provides us with
Destiny
transitions.
still arrives.
Or is it just like the personality tests where we're given such vague information that we can apply it?
I don't think it's
I'm
necessarily
not going
like
to screw
that.
us over. We're geniuses and we're doing amazing
Yeah,
transitions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are. Our minds are far too large for some people to even comprehend. All right, they had to invent new numbers just to describe our IQ. And guess who had to make those numbers? Us, because we're the only smart people enough to do it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, understanding each other's differences, because it's like you can't date like a clone of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, I.
That's something
okay,
a
okay.
lot of people strive
Okay,
for.
okay.
Big
Let me
discussion here.
rephrase then. Okay, if you can be the kind of person who wants to date like an exact clone of yourself, but if you're not that kind of person, you can't do it. So that's why you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You can look for like similar interests, but you can't look for the same
You should definitely
person
look
as you.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Now everyone
like-
should be more like me, of course, but that doesn't mean it's a good
That's
thing.
not.
In the future, we'll have government-mandated Drake clones today.
Government mandate.
Everyone will have their own
I'll be shipped in a
Drake
package.
pillow to go to sleep with at
Dude.
night.
Just like you get darted and wake up in a lab and they just start using your blood to create government mandated Drake clones.
It's for the betterment of
It's
humanity.
for the betterment of humanity.
Hey guys, it's me. I'm glad that you all
Drake-
elected me as president. Of
Drake
course,
Versick.
all the Drakes elected me as president,
All-
but that's besides
All
the
hail
point.
Oh yeah,
Drake
that would
number
add to the population by a
2225.
significant amount. Wow.
Yeah.
If clones were like a thing, would they be allowed to vote?
Let's
they're
not
still,
let's
like,
not get
wow.
into that. Let's
That's
not
a
get into
big
Ethics
ethical
of clones
question.
No,
should
because I think in
Yeah,
the future,
is-
when clones exist and watch this podcast and find this exact moment and then find out our opinion, we may or may not.
I'm not
be
gonna get canceled
murdered.
over clones time.
You definitely-
I refuse
have you
to
it's gonna
seen
be
cancel
like
Detroit
all
become
the
human?
history stuff where you look back at Abraham Lincoln and for the time he was really progressive, but he still wasn't really a huge fan of black people.
Yeah.
And now we're like, oh, Abraham
people
Lincoln was kind of
yeah.
racist. We
like, oh,
are
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cloned.
Yes. I'll maybe in the future I'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, how could I say these things?
Maybe.
300 years in the future in your cryotube.
In my cryo tube. Bro, I want to be cryogenically frozen when I die.
Dude,
You can do
let's
that.
freaking
Shoot me.
Futurama this thing.
Take my body and just inject it with the funny life juice, and I'll just be back. And I'll
Saw
be like,
that,
I'm the sequel, baby.
Vsauce. So in a Vsauce episode, you can get your body cryogenically preserved.
I believe
and-
I've seen that episode before.
Yeah, they think the brain will work when they're done being frozen, but I don't know for sure.
Honestly, probably not.
Yeah.
But
Okay, now
If
we're gonna get into
somebody's
the
willing to
funny
test it.
existentialism,
Yeah.
funny existentialism question.
This-
Say for example, you die, and your brain gets revived with whatever funny method they have.
oh no.
And
it's
whenever
one
I
of
say
these.
funny, by the way, I don't know if you guys
That's
have
a-
noticed this, but
that just
funny
that
is
just
a
means
way
he
to
doesn't know.
describe anything, basically. Yeah. They inject you with the funny magic that brings you back to life, or the science, I guess. Magic is just science that people don't understand.
Retexture.
matter.
It's a texture pack.
So they bring a person's brain back. Will that be like the same consciousness?
Yes.
Like if I black out, if
Yeah.
I get shot right now and black out, and my brain, like will it feel like I'm just going to sleep and waking back up, or will a different consciousness be resurged with all the
You'd
same
be
memories?
the same person.
So it
Yeah.
wouldn't like would I be able to tell?
I don't
like
think
if,
so.
If I die, will I
Although,
be like
if you
I'm not coming back?
aged, then you would have a different conscience because wouldn't that alter?
No, because I'm saying
parts of your brain?
because consciousness is a really weird thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Scientists still don't fully understand it. Like, is consciousness like the electricity going through your brain? Is it like the little
We
neurons
have-
going like zap zap
Those
zap
are-
zap zap?
I
Those
don't.
are just telling you what to feel.
Yeah.
Consciousness. Yeah, I have no clue.
I don't have an
I
answer.
don't think anyone has
Google
any
for
clue.
that.
That's
Nobody has an
What
answer. Not even
is
the 3 biggest brain people on the planet.
Conscious.
the
Yes.
3 biggest brained people on the planet. It's the
What is
trifecta.
consciousness?
It's us 3. You know, once
Sentience.
Stephen
Being
Hawking
aware.
was
Being
like,
self-aware, basically.
you know, Drake, you're smart, and I was like, that's cool, Stephen Hawking. You are slightly less smart, but that's you're cool
Wow.
too.
Oh my god.
July 26th, 2020. Scientists and philosophers still can't agree on even a vague idea of what consciousness is.
Dang.
It's going to take us so long to get there, man. And when it does, I will be dust.
I feel like when people do finally crack that, it'll be such a momentous occasion that like people are gonna lose it. It's gonna be like, wait,
There's
they
so
figured
much
it
stuff
out, and then like
that we
everybody's
can
gonna
look
see.
forward to.
Well, I mean, we already know it's 42, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Obviously.
Thank you, funny book.
Funny boy.
Perhaps it's some kind of guide, a hitchhiker's
I-
guide to the galaxy.
Man, you know, if only there was some sort of podcast that helped us understand the universe.
Yeah,
Oh,
where
man,
they
they should
discuss
totally
the
make a
universe.
It's a shame that that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Wait a second.
back to my point of understanding each other's differences. You can't date the same person, but you also need to you need to find somebody similar, but you can't find somebody who's too similar. It's complicated.
Yes,
There's no
the way you
equation
phrase it
for
now,
relationships.
We can bring up
I
a
think
separate
there's-
point. Getting back into the same relationship with the same person you broke up with before.
Ooh,
That's
Is
just
it
kind of
possible?
wacky. I can't
Hmm.
even
Can you do
begin
it?
to imagine
I can't.
that.
I don't really want to think of that. Oh God, I just
I
felt a
think
chill.
a
She's
good-
watching me.
A good way to think about it is that if you and your significant other are two very specific puzzle pieces to a two-piece puzzle,
Right.
getting a copy of your piece will not complete it.
What do you mean?
It won't be the same puzzle.
Oh yeah.
It's like the old thing where if you replace the handle of an axe and then later replace the head of an axe, is it still the same axe?
No,
And at what point does it not be the same axe?
it's not the
it's
same
like
axe.
that.
The first change.
Paradox.
Once the
Well,
first change
does
is
the
made.
first change involve the first molecule that gets off of it? If then every single being on the planet is
I just want to
never
make an
the same
analogy.
ever.
We are constantly changing. I can literally snap my fingers and I'll be a different person because the cells that got rubbed off are now gone.
Yes, but like
That's
that's the
stuff.
I think the paradox is bringing up that sometimes our brains just think a bit too literally.
Maybe.
Like sometimes I don't believe that's like a science question of like what point does it change like state or whatever. It's just like at what point is it treated in our minds as something separate? At one point, if a person changes so much over time, at what point does it become just a completely different person to what you remember?
Well, what was that thing where it's like every 9 years or 7? I don't remember.
7.
Yes,
It was
every
a
9
couple
years you physically get fully replaced all yourself.
Oh, I thought it was 7. Well, okay.
Yeah, it's sometime.
That would be twice now. Then.
I have now evolved twice.
Your Luke is turning into Luke.
Luke
Just
again.
different.
Whoa!
Dude, imagine how weird that would be though. Like literally every 7 years, there's some kind of like
No,
ceremony.
it's just literally that
During a
you
press
evolve,
conference.
but every time you evolve, like it just adds slightly more existentialism,
That's literally what happens though.
and then you die.
Yeah,
That's life.
that's life.
But yeah, what if every 7 or so years it's like your birthday, and on the 7th anniversary, you just all
of
your molecules
cells.
atoms suddenly
Oh my
just
God.
switch. Oh man, that would be such a weird feeling though. Make you like
Simultaneously,
sick.
like
You lose your train of thought.
Would you lose your consciousness? I don't know.
I'd
Going
train my
back
lose
to
of thought,
this
that's for sure.
again.
Would you consider this episode then to be half talking about relationships and half existentialism?
Yeah.
It's
I guess
I
so.
mean, no, that's the whole episode. We've been talking about relationships the whole time. Trust us.
Yeah,
Trust us.
obviously.
I've been keeping mental note of everything, and they all, in the grand scheme of things, relate back to my lesson that only I have been giving relationship advice this whole time. 'Cause
Exactly.
it's my topic. How to stay in a relationship with Drake 101. Yep. And I believe that everything we've been talking about leads directly back to the main point that relationships are pretty epic cool, and you just if you want to stay in one, just be yourself and make sure the other person is also cool epic.
And cool with you being yourself, because that's
That
important.
was the most specific, broad advice I've ever heard.
That's because I'm just that
That was
cool.
a double-edged sword.
Double-edged
Stabbed
sword,
me.
and one side is stabbing myself, and the other side is also stabbing myself.
Yep.
The
I'm
duality
stabbing
of
the other
man.
person with the handle.
Impressive.
Quite ineffective.
Pokey handle.
My hands
I
may
would
be
want to rip
bleeding,
that.
but their brains have been slightly bruised.
My God.
What an analogy.
Well, I guess, do we have anything more for this episode? We're approaching actually 50 minutes.
Yeah.
50
so,
minutes.
yeah,
I
this
could-
might be our
I,
longest one
I'm
yet.
gonna be honest. I could keep talking for like infinity.
Same
but we
here.
have to,
Yeah.
like,
But we
cut the
need
episode
we need to
eventually.
cut it.
But
So
I
we
have a
could do a
deadline at
two-part. We could do a two-parter.
maybe we'll get
this.
Luke on for how to get
We'll
into
get
a
Luke on for
relationship with
another
Ty
episode
Brown.
sometime down the line.
Ooh, okay.
We don't have to do only a one and done shot type of deal.
Yeah, that's not how we roll. Anyway, now that it is the end, I am now going to advertise the Discord. We have a Discord now.
Wait a second, we should have plugged the Discord at the beginning.
Probably.
Put it in
But
the description.
The Discord is only for real fans. Anyway, I'm going to put a link to that in the description. I hope it
That's my
stays
line, John.
alive. I'm also going to put a link. I'm also going to put a link to my Instagram where I'm currently participating in Inktober.
Cool.
Let me check that
Also,
out.
go to my Instagram
forgot
where
you grew,
I
dude.
don't participate in Inktober, and instead I don't know what I post anymore.
I would
honestly.
participate in Inktober, but I'm too perfectionist about my art, so I usually take a couple years.
Literally, the most recent one I did is just a pumpkin holding a knife, and I did that in like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, yeah, it's
well,
fine.
as long as you're happy, that's what
I
matters.
spent an
you
hour
know
on
what
a
else is
5-line drawing.
What?
Really?
What?
Oh,
what
shoot.
time?
Anyway,
No, let's see.
Sorry.
One.
you know what else is important in a relationship? Staying happy.
Yeah, wait, the podcast is over. This is the end credit scene.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
You're welcome.
We'll pull you back on some other time.
This has been Discussing the Universe with Drake.
And Ty. And our special guest.
Technically,
Get-
Luke.
And our special guest speaker, Luke.
Drake,
Yeah.
Ty, and Luke. See you next time when we'll be discussing. Haven't decided it yet. Go follow my Instagram to vote on the next topic.
Oh, you're going to host a poll on your Instagram?
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote right now.
Probably. I mean, it's not out yet. I will do it.
You sure?
Uh,
Check again.
Good.
No, he.
All right. See you
All right.
all next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.